Most people who pick up a tarot deck spend all their time obsessing over the major arcana, the death card, the tower, the high priestess. And honestly, that makes sense. Those cards are dramatic, symbolic, impossible to ignore. But here's what nobody tells you at the beginning. The minor arcana is where your actual life lives. The major arcana tells you the big themes, the cosmic weather, the soul lessons. But the minor arcana, that's your Tuesday morning. That's the argument you had with your boss. That's the creative block you've been sitting with for 3 weeks. That's the text you haven't responded to yet. And if you've been doing readings without really understanding the minor arcana, you've been working with half a map. Today, we're fixing that. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 4 suits, the number system, and the court cards, and more importantly, how to actually read them, not just recite definitions from a book. The tarot deck has 78 cards total. 22 are the major arcana. The remaining 56 make up the minor arcana, divided into 4 suits of 14 cards each. The ace through 10, plus 4 court cards, the page, knight, queen, and king. The 4 suits are wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. Each one governs a completely different area of life, tied to one of the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. Think of the minor arcana as a detailed map of human experience. The major arcana shows you the mountain. The minor arcana shows you every rock, river, and trail on the way up. Now, before we go deeper, I have a question for you. When you first started learning tarot, which suit confused you the most? Drop it in the comments. Wands, cups, swords, or pentacles, and tell me why. I read every comment, and it genuinely helps me plan what to cover next. Let's go through each suit. Wands are fire, energy and motion. When wands show up, you're looking at someone's drive, their inspiration, their creative spark. This is the suit of passion and ambition, but also the suit of burnout, because fire burns fast and hot, and sometimes it burns through things. Quick example, someone asks why they feel so restless at work, and they pull the 3 of wands, a figure on a cliff looking out at ships on the horizon. Wands says, you've outgrown this. The restlessness isn't a problem to fix, it's a direction to follow. Cups are water. Feeling, emotion, the inner life. When cups show up, you're looking at the emotional landscape. Relationships, love, grief, intuition, the things that go unsaid. Cups ask, how do you feel? What does your heart know that your mind hasn't caught up to yet? Example, someone asks about a friendship that's been fading, and they pull the 5 of cups, a figure staring at 3 spilled cups, but 2 cups are still standing behind them. Cups says, yes, you've lost something real, but you're so focused on what's gone that you haven't noticed what's still here. Swords are air, the mind, fast, invisible, capable of cutting clean through things. This is the suit people often dread pulling. The imagery is dark, but here's what new readers miss. Swords represent truth, not punishment. Example, someone is agonizing over whether to leave their job and they pull the ace of swords, a single sword bursting through a crown in the clouds. Mental clarity, the fog lifting. Sword says, you already know the answer. You've just been afraid to say it out loud. Pentacles are earth, solid, slow, deeply rooted. This is the suit of the physical world: money, career, home, health, practical resources. Pentacles get called boring, but I'd argue they're the most grounding suit in the deck. Because what good is your passion, your love, or your ideas if you can't pay rent? Example, someone asks how to get their creative business off the ground, and they pull the 8 of Pentacles, a figure hammering out coins one by one. Pentacles says, this isn't about a breakthrough moment. It's about the daily practice. The magic here is in the discipline. Now here's something most beginner guides skip. The numbers tell a story too. Across all 4 suits, the numbers 1 through 10 follow the same arc. Once you know this, you can feel your way through a card you've never seen before. The ace is pure potential, a new beginning. Something is starting. The 2 is choice and duality, 2 forces in tension. Which way will you go? The 3 is first manifestation. Something is actually taking shape. The 4 is rest and consolidation. Hold still, restore. The 5 is conflict and disruption. Hard but necessary. The 6 is recovery. Harmony returning after the chaos of the 5. The 7 is introspection and strategy. Slow down and look closer. The 8 is momentum. Things are moving now. The 9 is near completion with all the tension that brings. The 10 is the end of a cycle. This chapter is done. What comes next? Once this lands, you can decode any card by feel. Take the Six of Wands. Six is recovery and triumph. Wands is fire and ambition. Put them together, a hard-won victory. Someone who fought for something and is being recognized for it. And that's exactly what the Six of Wands means. This is how you stop memorizing and start reading. Now let's talk about court cards, because this is where most people get stuck. Pages, knights, queens, kings. They can represent a real person in your life, an energy you're currently expressing, or the way a situation is behaving. That flexibility is what makes them confusing. So here's a simple framework. Pages are beginners. Curious, fresh, just entering a new chapter. They can also signal a message arriving, something unexpected coming your way. Knights are in motion. They've moved past learning into doing. The Knight of Wands charges ahead without a plan. The Knight of Swords is fast and sharp. The Knight of Cups is romantic and idealistic. The Knight of Pentacles is slow, steady, and utterly reliable. When a knight shows up, ask what's in motion right now. Queens have done the internal work. The Queen of Cups holds emotional depth. The Queen of Swords speaks with hard-won clarity. The Queen of Wands is magnetic and fully in her power. Queens often represent an energy you're being called to step into, not just a person you know. Kings have mastered the outer world. The King of Pentacles has built something lasting. The King of Swords leads with truth. The King of Cups stays steady even in emotional storms. Kings can be authority figures around you or the version of yourself that's fully integrated. This suits lessons. When you pull a court card and you're unsure, ask yourself 3 things. Does this remind me of a real person? Is this an energy I'm expressing or need to express? Is this showing me how a situation is behaving? One of those will click. Trust it. Here's a quick exercise. Go through your deck and find all 16 court cards. Lay them out. Without overthinking it, which one represents who you are right now? Not who you want to be, who you actually are this season. Then ask, which one represents who you want to grow into? The gap between those 2 cards is your current work. Drop both in the comments if you want to share. Something like, right now I'm a Knight of Swords, but I want to grow into the Queen of Cups. Those comments always start the best conversations here. Before I close, the 3 mistakes I see most often. First, treating difficult cards as bad omens. The 5 of Swords isn't a curse. The 9 of Swords isn't a warning something terrible is coming. These cards are mirrors, not predictions. The question is never what bad thing will happen. It's what does this card want me to look at? Second, over-relying on memorization. There are 56 minor arcana cards. If you're waiting until you've memorized all of them to start reading, you'll be waiting forever. Use the suit and number system. That's the foundation. Intuition builds on top of it. Third, not trusting your first impression. When you flip a card and immediately feel something, a flash of recognition, a quiet sense of knowing, that's information. Note it before you open any book. Then use the traditional meaning to deepen what you already felt. The minor arcana is 56 cards across 4 suits, each tied to an element and a dimension of life. The numbers follow an arc from potential to completion. The court cards can represent people, energies, or situations. And the real magic happens when you let cards speak to each other in a spread, not in isolation. This is a practice. It gets richer every time you sit with it. I want to hear from you. Try the court card exercise and drop your 2 cards in the comments. Or just tell me which suit came up when you shuffled earlier. Even if you're brand new, share it. Those are the conversations I look forward to most. And if this video gave you something useful, a framework that clicked, a new way of seeing the cards, consider subscribing. Not to help a number go up, but because it means the next video finds its way to you. We haven't talked about how to build your own spreads or how to read for someone else without absorbing their energy. There is so much more to come. Thank you for being here. Keep practicing. The cards reward the curious. I'll see you in the next one.